Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're making this beautiful Christmas themed sliding knot bracelet. This design has a single sliding knot that slides apart, and it's got our beaded detail secured in the center with a knot on each side. For our design today we're using some beautiful Christmas themed beads, and we're using some green 2mm satin nylon cord. If you find it hard to get your beads onto the 2mm satin nylon cord, you can use 1mm thick cord instead. We have a beautiful selection of Christmas charms as well, so to use these we just place them on a jump ring. So with 2 sets of pliers, twisting the jump ring apart, placing your charm on, and then twisting the jump ring closed. Now for our bracelet we need 60 centimeters of 2mm satin nylon cord. I cut the end of my cord on an angle so it's easy to thread my beads on. Now go ahead and place your design on. I'm using a bunch of these beautiful shiny Christmas beads, and then I'll place one of the charms in the center and then the other half of my beaded design. Okay, so once you're happy with your little beaded design, then we're going to secure it in the middle of our cord with a knot on each side. So placing the ends of our cord together, following it back down to the middle and pulling these beads right into the middle of our cord. Now grabbing this point on the side of our beads here, holding it in my left hand between my left index finger and thumb, we bring this cord down the back and around our finger 2 times towards the left to form 2 loops here around our finger. Gently removing the loops. Then we bend the end of our cord around and place them down both loops. Pulling it out the right hand side and gently pulling this knot down tight onto that spot on our cord. Pulling that knot nice and tight and tidy. Then we can slide the beads up against that knot and swap our cord onto the opposite side. So again, holding it just next to the beads there in our left hand, taking the cord down the back and around our finger 2 times to form 2 loops here. Gently removing the loops off our finger, bending our cord around and placing it down both loops. Pulling it out the right hand side, and this time we're gently going to work this knot tight up quite close to the beads. So just gently working it and pulling that cord out the center to pull it up next to the beads. When it's in position you can pull it nice and tight. Now we're ready to tie our sliding knot. So laying the left side cord on top of the right side cord, and leaving quite a small bracelet size here. Now I readjust my left hand so that I can hold it in between my left index finger and thumb. Now with this top cord we take it down the back and around our finger for our first loop here. And again to the left, down the back and around our finger, and again for a third loop as well. So you should have 3 loops here on your finger and your tail end piece as well. So we gently remove these loops off our finger, bending our tail end piece around and placing it down all 3 loops. Pulling it out the right hand side and gently working this knot down tight. We want to keep those loops in their same order to have a nice tidy knot. And we're also gently working it so that it sits in the position right in the middle. It can be a little tricky to size the bracelet with the knot sitting perfectly in the middle. So just try it on for size. If you're happy with it then perfect, but if not you can always untie and retie this sliding knot until you're happy with how it sits. If you are happy with it then go ahead and tie some simple knots on each cord. You can place a bead on before you tie these knots if you like, but pull those knots down nice and evenly on both cords. Then you can cut these tails off just outside the knots and singe with a lighter so they don't fray. So there's your beautiful beaded Christmas sliding knot bracelet.